What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Anthony Walker. Welcome to this very special video that I'm going to do right now. This is October 26th. Last night was Hell in the Cell 2015. If you want to see the review, check it out. Link will be in the description below. And yeah, I saw this on WTTV, Wrestle Talk Television. And I decided, Wrestle Talk TV, I thought it'd be good. They had their own version of the top 5 best Hell in the Cell matches of all time. I thought I'd come on here and do my favourite. So this is my favourite Hell in the Cell matches, my top 5 favourite Hell in the Cell matches of all time, in my opinion. If you want to leave your top 5, maybe top 10, drop it in the comments below underneath and get involved. Number 5 for me was the Armageddon 2000 6-way Hell in the Cell match. Oh my god. That is all I'm saying. This is a 6-way Hell in the Cell match which involved Stone Cold, Rock, Kurt Angle, Triple H, Rikishi, and the American Badass Undertaker. And it also debuted his theme song that night, which was Limp Bizkit Rollin'. Brutality all around this match. I mean, if you thought having a one-on-one match in Hell in the Cell was bad enough, go back and watch this match. Unbelievable. The highlight was when Vince came down, tried to stop the match because him being a businessman, he thought it was career suicide to have these 6 talents in there. And he was having beef with Foley. Foley came out and chased him, and thanks to Vince coming down and interfering in the match, he was in a truck, and Rikishi got chokeslammed off the cell right onto that truck. And I still don't know how to this very day, and I don't think even he knows, but Kurt Angle walked out the victorious, retained the WWE Championship, and then turns around and gets a stunner for his trouble from Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah, I won the championship. Just gets a stunner. Unbelievable. But hilarious nonetheless. And all in all, it was probably the one and only time they had a 6-way Hell in the Cell match. And considering the carnage that it left and everything, and the brutality in that, I don't think they'd ever have a number 1 again. Especially not in this era anyway. Number 4 was, for me, Triple H and Kevin Nash. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, why have you put this in? I actually liked this match. I didn't just like the pay-per-view and the theme song of the pay-per-view. Trapped, Headstrong. Go and check it out if you haven't. Go find it if you've never heard it before. And for those of you that have watched or played Legends of Wrestling for the PlayStation 2, you know that was a theme song on that game. But back to the match. At this time, Triple H was with Evolution, which was Randy Orton and Ric Flair. And prior to this match, going back to Judgment Day, they pretty much believed, or pretty much had me believed, Kevin Nash that is, that he was going to win the world title. But he didn't. But leading into this match, I mean, he powerbombed Triple H through the announce table at Judgment Day. And he basically beat the hell out of him in this match, but Triple H found a way to win. And found a way to overcome all the odds, because no doubt the odds were stacked against him that night, and he proved himself to be what he was. Especially with that world title. Not the world title you see today, the old WCW title, to prove to be a great world champion. And one of the guys that have carried that belt to where it went. Despite what other people say, but like I said, they did a very good. He did a very good job in the match. And yes, Foley was the referee and he got involved. But like I said, what made me like that match was they both beat the hell out of each other, and everything was involved: sledgehammers, steel chairs, steps, the lot, and it was brutality. And I don't think Kevin Nash was the same after that match. I might be wrong, but it was one of my favourite matches anyway, and Triple H did very well to get out and overcome the odds, because when he wrestled Ric Flair on Raw and he walked back up the aisle and then Austin got in his face and announced that he was going to face Kevin Nash, the reaction was, oh shit, Triple H is in trouble. That was my reaction when I saw it, and I thought, fuck that. You know. But, like I said, Triple H managed to fight and get away with the victory. Now, number 3 was the very first Hell in a Cell match. Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. The match where Shawn Michaels literally just got bounced around, quite frankly. Highlight of the match was when Shawn Michaels was hanging off the other side of the cage when he eventually got out. After Undertaker rammed him face first into the cage at the beginning, he climbs out, goes over the top rope, over the top of it, and the next minute he's hanging over on the top of the cell. You know, Undertaker's kicking his legs off, you know, kicking him in his hands to make sure he, you know, loses his grip and that. Apologise for that. That's my computer if you heard that. And then he falls back. And he's like teetering on the edge and everything, and all you can hear in the background is Jerry Lawler going, incoming, incoming, and he just drops right through the Spanish announce table. And also it was a very historic match as well. Not only was it the very first Hell in a Cell and what set the tone for future Hell in a Cells, and not only did Shawn Michaels somehow come out victorious in that match and went on to face Bret Hart at the Survivor Series pay-per-view, and we all know how that turned out, and he left a bloody mess. It was also the debut of Kane, that match as well. And Kane coming out, getting in the Undertaker's face, and setting up their match, which eventually ended up at WrestleMania 14 of the next year as well, 1998. But all in all, an epic, very memorable match to this very day. Speaking of memorable, number 2, Mankind versus Undertaker at King of the Ring. Famous for the bump from hell, from Mick Foley. Good God Almighty, they've killed him. That's it, he's dead. That was Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross on commentary. Holy shit. I remember that well, and I still watch it this very day, and you could probably watch it on the network and that. Unbelievable. And they carried him out of the thing, and what amazed me was he actually got up, walked all the way back, climbed up, and then gets chokeslammed. And now, the first bump when he got through the announce table was meant, from what I heard, it was work, and it was planned. The second one wasn't. Going through the cage, getting chokeslammed through the cage, and then having a chair come right in your face. And you could tell it was brutal. You're probably watching yourself, yeah, it's good. But you could tell how brutal it was to Mick, and how, in a way, real it was if you watch Beyond the Mat. Because when he went backstage, he got word that his wife was calling, worried sick. And it's not the first time if you watch the Royal Rumble 1999. But she was worried sick. So you could tell how that did have an effect. But that was probably the memorable moment that got Mick Foley over. I mean, Undertaker's such a badass when he gets into Hell in a Cell. I mean, Shawn Michaels is right. When he gets into Hell in a Cell, he's a different man. He's evil. I've watched Mick Foley. I've been to his comedy shows that he does now, and he's memorable now. His memorable moment that got him over in WWE was that, and he doesn't like talking about it, and I could understand. I mean, what was the memorable moment that you got over in WWE? Oh yeah, getting thrown off a cell and going through a Spanish announce table. Not really the ideal one, but hey, if it got you over in WWE, you know, and you're still in one piece after it, more power to you. And that's that night, because later on in the night, which is when you thought you'd seen the last of him, he came back out during the Kane and Austin First Blood match. How, I don't know. And trust me, not that I already knew it anyway, but that proved to me that Mick Foley is nothing but a crazy bastard in that match. Seriously. Unbelievable. And it's a toss-up between that one and my number 1. You could have both of them. You can have this one number 2 and this one number 1. The reason why I went for this one number 1, because it was actually my favourite match, and it was the very first meeting between The Undertaker and Brock Lesnar in 2002. for the WWE Championship in Hell in a Cell at the No Mercy pay-per-view. This is when The Undertaker was the American Badass, and he already just came over to SmackDown. He signed full-time for SmackDown, and he wanted Brock Lesnar, and he got it. And these two met at Unforgiven in 2002, the previous month. Nothing ended in that match, so they thought, let's put him in Hell in a Cell. And Undertaker went into this match with a cast on his hand, thanks to Lesnar. And this was a bloodbath, because both men bled. Undertaker bled the worst out of the two. I think even Paul Heyman bled. This was just brutal. And this probably gave the reality check to Brock Lesnar as well, from what I got. But, you know, Brock ended up winning, eventually beating Taker with an F5. And you could see the end of the match. I mean, it's bad enough the guy's, forearm, the cast he had. It's bad enough he had that. But you see the match he had and the blood he had and everything. Oh my fucking God. And I still watch that to this very day, and I just got one word to describe the match. Bloodbath. Unbelievable. Unbelievable match. Last night's was no different. Probably more brutality than last night's match than it was back then, and it wasn't the same Undertaker that it was, because, like I say, it was the American Badass Undertaker. If you saw last night's pay-per-view, check the description below for the review. You'll know it was a different Undertaker than he faced last night, and just incredible. Incredible match last night, incredible match back then. And that did wonders for SmackDown, because that's when they had SmackDown with the Raw and SmackDown pay-per-views, once a month, leading into the big pay-per-views, which they had them both together, which was Survivor Series and SummerSlam. And that did well for SmackDown, because even though it was a risk, it got over really, really good. And that was the highlight of that pay-per-view for me. It was back in 2002, and it was a SmackDown pay-per-view. Just a great Hell in a Cell match. What is your top 5, guys? Like I said, get involved. Drop a link below, drop a comment below. Get involved. What is your top 5? What is your top 5, memorable moments in Hell in a Cell? Do you have a worst list as well? Top 5 worst Hell in a Cell matches. I think the only time it's ever been worst for me is when it was in a Raw, because that's when you knew it was only a pay-per-view match. It was meant for pay-per-views. Didn't really work for Monday Night Raws. I think they only had it once, and that was back in '98 with Mankind and Kane. But, yeah. What is your, get involved, guys. Drop a comment below. And if you like this video, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And subscribe to the Wrestling Madness channel for more wrestling-related content, created by moi. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, hope you've enjoyed this video. Like I said, leave a comment. What is your top 5? I'd like to know. Links are in the description as well, where you can find me. And until next time, my name is Anthony Walker. Check out the new episode of the podcast. It's up. Check it out. And until then, peace out. Hi guys, Anthony Walker here. And thank you for checking out the Wrestling Madness channel, where you can see weekly podcasts, weekly videos, and all the wrestling-related content. For the Wrestling Madness podcast, click this icon right here. For the Wrestling Madness video podcast that I started doing every week, which reviews Monday Night Raw and all sorts of things that I can get my hands on, click this icon here. For other wrestling-related content, as well as the podcasts and the video podcasts, click this down here. But if you like gaming and video games, for any alternative video games like WWE, GTA, and all sorts of other great video games, click this down here to the Games Matter channel. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Thank you so much for checking this channel out, and I hope you enjoy it. And thank you for stopping by. Peace out.